Hello everybody, welcome back. We're going to talk about VRA. It might feel a little premature as the market's pulling back. We've been expecting a pullback over the last few days now, and we might start to see it at the moment. There's a few things to think about for Bitcoin, because obviously the market's going to be driven by Bitcoin. We've got a trend signal on the Ichimoku cloud on the weekly still. That's still in play, so long as this Chiku span doesn't touch into the price action, which allows for 28,500, and this is going to be a candle body closure. In fact, we can even dip down this week as low as 26,000 and still and close anywhere above that, I'll call it 27,000, shall we, and still be okay. So the markets are, in my opinion, wanting to pull back, but that doesn't stop this potential alt season from continuing. Many altcoins still looking quite good. Many of them haven't broken out yet. A lot of them have been pushing resistance and getting rejected from resistance, which is absolutely perfectly fine and more than appropriate. Bitcoin holding on to this 10 exponential. We've got a 20 and a 21 sitting down here around 33,200. Got a horizontal major area, 31,800, and then many other moving averages below that. So Bitcoin can still maintain its higher high, higher low structure perfectly fine, even if it comes down to the tune of what is going to be over 10% really. It's quite a fair drop really if it wants to do it. It doesn't have to do it immediately, but you know what I'm saying. I made a video earlier on today about how Bitcoin can consolidate, can pull back, can keep going down, and altcoins actually dip deeper and then spring much higher. That is how our last major alt season in 2021 performed. Bitcoin hit 41,000 and consolidated down into the 30s, and with every drop, altcoins dipped and then they shot straight up. So we might be looking at something similar to that, but with a lot less volume. The sentiment is not ripe for huge moves, in my opinion, although we can always be surprised at how some of these things play. So let's get into VRA. So first of all, we had this epic move, a huge epic move, from lower than where I would have expected it. We were looking at this on the Patreon, and because we'd lost this area of support, I wasn't convinced that it was going to do anything other than trickle down to the next major level. I was wrong. I was so wrong. This actually shot up so fast, and over a week it basically doubled in value. Then thou giveth, thou taketh away, came crashing back down, formed a symmetrical triangle, more or less, formed golden crosses on simples and exponentials, and now looks like it's double topping around this 0.67 of a cent zone. But if you look at it, we've broken out of a symmetrical triangle. And we've broken out like quite in a convincing way. And this is way before the apex, so it's more likely to continue with the next major resistance around 0.73 of a cent. More than that, though, obviously we're above all major moving averages. We've got a trend signal on the Ichimoku cloud, so this is good for a continuation of a trend. Chiku span has got all the way to dip down towards 0.51 of a cent before it cancels out this trend over the next few days for the rest of this week, for instance. And so I would make the case that a big dip, or any dip really, but the larger the better, considering how volatile VRA is. The larger the dip, the better. You can also look at this in this other way as well. Which is, and again, formations are formations. I mostly trade based on trend, and as far as trend is concerned, we've got a green light on this one, but we've got the breakout of a symmetrical triangle. We've also got a cup in handle. So there's your cup, there's your handle, there's your breakout. So it's a double breakout from a formation basis. It's a trend confirmed with, like I say, golden crosses and moving averages all in the most appropriate places. And like I say, you've got two trends there, two formation trends. Let's have a look at the momentum on this one at the moment. How hot and how high are we? So on the daily, obviously, that was an overheated read on the money flow index all the way up here at 96. So you'd want to get out if you had a money flow index read of that high. At the moment, the money flow index read is sitting at 58. So if it does decide it wants to go up, it's got plenty of room before it pops. The volume is trading at 6 million, which for a Qcoin gem, if you want to call it that, it's quite a lot. The Qcoin trades, to be fair, at the moment, a lot of the altcoins trade for peanuts, and it's almost there. It's almost untradeable volume on some of these coins. Not VRA. VRA's got very decent volume. Look, I know very little about this project. I know people talk about it, rant and rave about it. I know they talk about it like it's actually going to do things. There's lovers, there's haters to it. I'm just trading a chart. And the thing I like about this chart is its previous behavior, which is aggressive. I like its volume, which is also good. I like the fact that lots of people are talking about it, because That's in many ways that's what encourages money to fall into a chart like this. This is probably what's keeping this volume high, because this is quite rare for a KuCoin gem. I know it trades on other platforms. It's not on Binance. It's not on these sort of top tier exchange platforms. But I suppose you could class KuCoin as a top tier, but you know what I mean. When it comes to general volume, it's not really. So this is slightly different for your average thing that you'll find on KuCoin, but it doesn't stop it from making these big, powerful moves. So 6 million in a 24-hour period is good, and just to confirm, we've got a breakout of a symmetrical triangle, we've got a confirmation and a breakout of a cupping handle, we've got golden crosses on simples and exponentials, and we've got a trend signal on the Ichimoku cloud. So every aspect of the chart does look like it wants to continue on and go further. Obviously, you'd look at this major area over here, 0.74 of a cent, as a bit of a problem to get through. That is the next major area of resistance, and with that you should expect a rejection from it. However, if that breaks through, we really do shoot straight up to these candle bodies around here, which is basically like a ascent. So if we were to think about that, so if we just move from where we are at this very moment in time, not that I'm suggesting anyone buys right now, we're still talking like a 50% gain, for a reasonably realistic target on this one. If for whatever reason it breaks out from that 1 cent zone, which again, this is massively hopium and skeptical that it could do that, the next major level is up at 2 cents and just below. So we're talking just short of 2 cents, which again at that point then is going to be a much bigger gain. And again, we're looking for continuation on altcoins. We're looking for Ethereum to break out, and at this stage, you are looking for a 200% rally. So again, we can't expect a 200% rally based on what we're looking at now. One resistance, another level of resistance, and then a final top target. A 200% rally in this portion of the market right now, when nobody really likes crypto anymore. Altcoins have only just started to become fashionable, and and really, I'm scared to even say the word alt season, because I've been saying it for the last 4 weeks, or when I started saying that we're going to look at some alts, I think we're going to have extensions on rallies, and I used the alt season word. It's listen, the trolls came back and they said horrible things. But so that word is it's a sensitive word for a lot of people. It gives people either false hope or false impressions. But I am talking about a chart here which actually does have a really good setup. And if we can break through this first major resistance here, we are looking like a 50% gain is actually quite likely. So right this very moment in time, as Bitcoin wants to pull back and the Dixie wants to bounce, we should expect further downside in the interim. Maybe the first bid could take place around the 10 exponential. When we get golden crosses, it's usually the case that we end up retesting them at some point. So maybe 0.5 of a cent, or roughly around that 0.5, maybe 0.55 of a cent gets tested before this actually bounces and rallies. Obviously, we are at the mercy of Bitcoin. And the major drop for Bitcoin is around a 17% drop. VRA coming down to a 200 simple and exponential moving averages between 27 and 23% drop. So all of this could be like where the stars align, and we actually see a really epic bounce back from the bottom of the triangle. It would be a failed cupping handle, but it wouldn't be a failed trend. So don't put all your eggs in one basket. Yes, there's a cupping handle. That's good. Yes, there's a breakout of a symmetrical triangle. That's good. But for me, trend is better, and retest of trend is the best way to get a really good position. So it's up to you what you want to do, how you want to play it. Like I say, there's 4 aspects of this chart which look good in the short term and in the medium term. As for long term, it's a different story. You can't really say what's going to happen. I hold VRA, I've been holding it for a while, but this is more about a trade that could be made sooner rather than later, rather than like a hodl bag. The trade looks good for between a 50 to a 200% move, provided Bitcoin doesn't crap its pants, and Ethereum can actually hold its own trend, to which it's only really just beginning with a fresh golden cross on the exponential moving averages. So look, it's something worth thinking about. Like I say, it's a chart worth looking at. So I thought I'd bring it to your attention. It's not the best thing you ever see in the world. It's fraught with an incredible risk because of the volatility on this is unbelievable. But there is a chance. There is a decent chance that we do see some epic moves on this one quite soon, I would say, quite soon. Right, thanks for watching. I hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.